Hi, so this is the recipe for the rum cake, the rum Christmas cake, and I'm taking a couple of dry fruits. There are a couple of nuts, which is walnut. There's a little bit of tutti frutti, and you're gonna just see there are raisins, tutti frutti, and walnut. You can use some almonds. You can also add some orange peels to it, and then you add the best rum that you can get. And so I'm using the old famous Old Monk here. Okay, so basically just add that. This is the orange peel, and this gives it a little bit of bitterness, so you can just chop this up into very small parts, and then you can add it to the mixture. And then you add the rum. Keep adding, be generous. Something like you just want to make sure that all the dry fruits soak in. I think that's enough. Soak this for around 12 hours overnight, and then we will start the preparation of the cake batter. Alright, so for the ingredients of the cake, we're using 250 grams of butter. This is Amul butter, salted. So I've used two full packs of 100 grams and one half, which is 50 grams. So total 250. 4 eggs, alright. Maida, 250 grams, and sugar, powdered sugar, 250 grams. Alright, and we're also using baking powder, 1 teaspoon, and 1/4 teaspoon would be baking soda. Alright, that will help the cake bake better. And these are the nuts and the raisins and everything from last night, soaked in rum. So, and these nuts are around 250 to 300 grams before soaking them in rum. Alright, so I will try to keep it around that, not more than that. So start with 250 grams of butter, melt it slightly, and add 250 grams of sugar. This is small granules of sugar, powdered sugar basically, and then just mix it well. So this is after you get this batter after beating sugar and butter. This is kind of the consistency that you should wait for. Basically the sugar just melts into the butter, and then I'm going to add 4 eggs that will go into this. Let's not beat it too long after the eggs are added, just basically they should mix in. So we are mixing the eggs into the batter. So there are 3 ingredients in this: butter, sugar and eggs. The eggs go at the last, and you can pour the eggs a little slowly while beating it constantly. So now we are mixing all-purpose flour, which is maida, baking powder and baking soda, and we're just making. It's very important to sift the flour. This is a gadget that you kind of get in the market, and basically it kind of just makes sure that there are no lumps in the flour before you add it to the cake batter. Alright. Slowly add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and at the same time keep mixing. So that we don't get any lumps. After you mix the flour, you might find that the batter is slightly dry, but that's okay, because later on we'll be adding some caramel, and also we'll be adding the rum mixture. Right now we're just grating some cinnamon, so you can add some ready-made cinnamon powder, or you can grate it and some and maybe a little bit of all spice mixture also. So now we are preparing caramel to be added to the batter. Basically this gives good color and also gives a little bit of that little bitterness that we always have in a rum cake. So we are using, we need 1 cup of sugar that we kind of heat in the pan, and to that we are going to add 1 tablespoon of water. Okay, so 1 full tablespoon of water, and then we just try and melt the sugar, and the caramel will start getting light brown and then a little dark brown, and it's very important to be stirring the sugar constantly so that there are no lumps in the caramel and we don't overburn it also. So basically now it's around 5 minutes and we are halfway through the caramel. You can see that there are still some lumps and some crystals that are there, but they will all melt. The point is to keep stirring it continuously and make sure there are no lumps, and once it starts turning a little dark brownish is when we'll stop. So if you see, we are very close to it. The color is almost like beer or apple juice, but we want to go somewhere more like coffee, you know. So an espresso shot kind of thing, which is pretty dark, and that's when we're going to add half a cup of water. Alright, but be very careful for that. So now you see it's kind of started boiling, it kind of starts frothing, and the color is also getting pretty dark now. It's very much close to the espresso coffee, and that's when you're going to add half a cup of water. Just be very careful. Be careful when you're adding this because it might really splash, and just let it, you know, mix well, and then turn off the gas and let this mixture cool, and you see you'll get a nice dark brown little reddish tint of color. Alright, so once the caramel is cooled down, you can add it to the batter and then mix it. The caramel would be pretty bitter, but that should be fine because there is sweetness of the rum that will come in. And if you really need, then you can add a little bit of sugar to it before you add the last ingredients, the nuts and the rum, to the batter. Finally, you can add the rum mixture with all the raisins and nuts, and then mix it and put it to bake.